So welcome back, guys. I got a very exciting video for you today. We're gonna find out once and for all, who is the king of splitters? What was going on there? So it seems to me one of the most important things in a test like this is consistency. We got to have consistent wood to get accurate outcome, right? How much more consistent can we get than 2 rounds from the exact same tree? So let me fire up the chainsaw. We'll cut out 4 rounds here. We're going to try 2 splitting methods. We're going to try working around the corners, knocking the edges off, and then we'll do the traditional pie method. I think this is going to give us a pretty good answer on which one is the best splitter. I was thinking on the way down here, one of the funniest things, one of the funniest stories I ever heard, I wanted to share with you guys while we're filing here, was from some of you guys from the old days, the Wrangler Barn channel will remember my old neighbor, Henry. Henry was in his late 80s, early 90s, I forget, but he was a logger his whole life up on Mount Hood and Mount St. Helens up in that area, worked as a mechanic as well. And he was one of the most brilliant guys I ever met, smartest guys, mechanical genius, and he never learned to read. So he was telling me a story. His wife, Marion, she used to do a lot of canning. And so she was doing this water bath canning in her kitchen, and she was had this big metal jack. You know the jack, the game you used to play where you drop the ball and you pick up the jacks, you know, they kind of look like a cow trap, those little metal things with the balls on the ends. Well, she had kind of a novelty one. It was a great big one, you know, several pounds. And she had that in her kitchen, and she would use that to weight down the jars, because when you're water bath canning, you know, they want to lift up. You got to keep them down. So this jack had been sitting in this boiling hot water for a long time, you know, like half hour or so, and it was hot, you know, hundreds of degrees. Well, she had oven mitts or something. She would take it out and she sat it on the counter. Right when she sat it down on the counter, one of Henry's friends came by to visit, and he came in and sat down at the counter. It's like, "Hey, Marion, how's it going? Where's Henry at?" And he looked at this great big jack, and he reached over. Granted, it had just come out of this boiling hot water. He reached over with his bare hands, picked it up, and set it back down. I looked at Marion and said, "Don't take me long to look at something." When Henry told me that story, I thought that was, that was the funniest thing that I ever did hear. You know, he didn't holler or hoop or yell. I mean, that's the epitome of that's a tough guy right there. Don't take me long to look at something. I thought that was pretty funny here. All right, let's get this sharpened up, and we'll make that last cut, and we'll get to the get this video moving along. Got my saw stuck. All right. All right, let's bring up the first round. All right, let's talk about 2 radical different schools of thought right here. So first off, this is my go-to right here. This is the Prandy. I don't know what it's called. I call it the Bismarck because it reminds me of everything that's German. Big, strong, overbuilt, big. Powerful, lasts a long lifetime. This is my go-to when all else fails. And when I really get something that's gnarled and big, this is my biggest, heaviest sledge. And there's a lot of really cool features of this. You know, you take it for granted. Most people just look at this and think, oh yeah, sledge is a sledge is a sledge. But it's not. There's so much evolution that's went into this. Perfect example, this is rare to see this on an edge. This here, that's for hooking. That's having two tools in one. You noticed earlier maybe that I was using this to move those rounds around. You can use the tool to bite into there because of that little beak that sticks down and move things around. Very rare. You don't see that on big box stores. You don't see that hardly anymore. That's really a nice attention to detail. A long taper. Look at that beautiful taper in this thing. It's got a long taper so you don't have a great big bulbous end on it that when you strike into something wet wood that you've had mauls that just bounce out. Very frustrating. You don't get so much of that here because of just the superior design and shape. Now this over here, the Chopper One, this is a very different school of thought here. This is more of a splitting axe rather than a splitting maul. What's the difference? Well, the handle, for one, you can see it's got a traditional style handle there. We'll cover that here in a minute. But a little bit faster swinging speed, a little bit different concept. Of course, the Chopper One has this mechanical advantage. Then that's what we're here to find out today. Is this going to be superior to the traditional heavy maul? As these little wings flip out there, is it going to blow this wood away? It's going to knock it out. So that's what we'll find out. That's what we're going to find out today. Let's cover the handles real quickly, and then we'll get into the test. So not only do the heads share a completely different school of thought when it comes to splitting wood, so do the handles. You want to see two perfect examples of how handles should be done? Right here. Oh, so much of this. I could go on and on about this all day. Again, to the casual observer, you're just going to think it's a handle, right? No, man, this Prandy, I wish Prandy axes were available in the States instead of just Europe, because man, they are, the more that I use them, you know, they have become, next to Grand Force Brooks, my go-to axes, the ones that I keep. Axes come through my hands all the time. The ones that I'm really reluctant to give away are these. I just love them. They're so much good to say about them. Just the handles alone would be a video. Look at this strong, heavy handle right here. But what it does is it gives you that strength up here where you have a tendency to overstrike. We've all done that. You'll look at mauls and they're beat up right there. Gives you some longevity there. It gives you you can make a few mistakes on it, not break your handle. And then it tapers down here to where your hands are going to be working into a nice, comfortable, more manageable size. This is too fat, this is just right. But they don't stop there. And here's where the rubber meets the road. And what you don't see is it actually has a little palm swell on it. That really helps with fatigue. And it's not typically done because it costs more money. You have to start with a much bigger piece of wood to end up with that. And then there's so much to this handle, I can't even tell you. From the way it's hung to the eye, it's really, really well done. But it's a straight handle, and that's what you usually get from a maul. Now this here is a splitting axe. Now these are more popular. They were certainly more popular out west, especially there's guys that used to split wood all the time. Even I think when my dad was in high school, there were some guys down at the paper mill, young guys that would work down there, and that's what they did all day, is they split firewood for the wood boilers. And he said they look like Mr. Olympian bodybuilders, you know, the shoulders in the back. You imagine having a job where you split wood all the time? But they preferred a splitting axe. And that may have something to do with, it could be regional, as well as the type of wood that we split, which would have been Douglas fir at that mill. But look at this. This is handle perfection right here. It is got a beautiful fawn's foot with a little kick on it. It has a nice curve to it. It is so good. I've looked at it and felt it and studied it that I am going to use this as a template for future splitting axes. It's really that good. I mean, look at that. It's got a nice big swell at the end of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right there, comes down, fits the hand really well. It's beautiful sweeping arc. Really, just really works with the body. I'm ranting. I could go on and on about these hands. Let's get to the splitting. Good grief, I get going on about handles and go on all day. It's a whole video in itself there. Okay, so I changed my mind. We're gonna use this one piece. We're gonna chop opposite sides because it's so symmetrical that I think that's gonna give us the best test. So, plus I'm running out of daylight. I've been messing around so long. Okay, so let's start with the Chopper One. Chopper One here, we'll work on the right-hand side, and then we'll work over here on the left with the HMS Bismarck. Okay, you ready? We're gonna just do the side chop method here. Oh, didn't stick. Let's give it 2 hits. 3, 4, okay, 5. We have 5 right there to knock it off the side. Nice thing about it is it didn't stick, right? We don't like sticking. That's gives us a lot of extra work. Okay, now the Bismarck. Try to do hit in the same place here. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. How about that? It's a chance of hitting both those splitting the same. Okay, let's move the camera and then we'll hit these 2 sides. I guess we could do it right here. It's a little bit tall for me, this chopping block, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Hopefully we're in focus. Okay, so we'll do the right here with the chopper 1. Oh man, that was a good hit. Oh yeah. That's 2. Oh, if I would have hit it, that would have been, the third one would have knocked that off there. That was user error. Oh man, the pressure's on. Pressure's on for the Bismarck. Got the same piece of wood, pretty consistent here. Here we go, ready? Oh, that was a good one. That felt the crack. Oh, 2. Again, the same thing. I'll back up a little bit. Okay, so we got 3 again. 3 again. See, remember, we talked about the fibrous. I wonder if that chopper would have knocked that one off if I would have hit it right. Okay, now we got 2 more splits here. Can we do it in 1 with the chopper 1? Here we go. Oh yeah, look at it blasted apart. No fibers remaining, right? That's pretty good. Where were we? We're on the top there? Yeah, right there. Will the Bismarck, will it chop in 1 here? Let's see. Oh yeah. Even with more authority, if I had to admit it. Okay, so let's do the pie method. I'd say that was a push. That was a push. All right, we'll get another one going here. Man, is there anything better than out in the forest splitting Doug fir in the cold autumn day. 27 degrees today. Okay, now we'll try the pie method. We'll see what happens, who comes out on top. Then I'll give you my conclusions here. I'm forming opinions right now. So last time we did the slabbing method, right? Where we take it and knock the 4 corners off and then usually 1 billet left in the middle, you can split it. We're gonna do the traditional way, the pie method this time, and I brought you in a little bit closer and then we'll alternate. So let's start with the chopper 1. We'll see how many times it's gonna take to split here. So, ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh I missed, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, guys, come on, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's completely split over here. Of course I would have moved around with the split, but I wanted to see if I could split it. I lost track. We're in it now. Oh, come on. Come on. It's getting personal. What was going on there? It wasn't there's no knot or anything there. Really. Man, that was not very good. All right, let's roll another one on. see what the Bismarck can do. Man, that'll get you in shape. So this is actually, the Bismarck's at a bit of a disadvantage here because this one's even bigger. This one's even bigger. We'll see what happens here. Same tree, these two were connected to each other, so. Woo! All right, I don't know how scientific this is. We'll get out. There's a knot right there. There wasn't a knot. There wasn't a knot with the chopper one. Well, come on, with German power, they can overcome. Oh, that feels solid. 1, 2, 3. We might be here for a while. I'll let you guys count. I got enough to worry about. All you hardwood guys tell me all the time how easy this stuff is to split. We work for ours too. Oh, goodness. Whew. That's a heavy maul to split too, or to swing. We got a crack, that's it. It's curtains now, matter of time. Oh yeah, I love it. Love it. CrossFit. Does it count if I pry it apart? We're gonna keep at it, we're not gonna give up. Yeah, come on. One more. All right, I wasn't counting. Give me the count in the comments. Man, I think I need to get out and chop some more wood. All right, so let's wrap it up with my conclusions here. All right, friends. So, somebody go back, and if you can rewatch that, put in the comments how many swings did it take for each one. I guess, is that definitive? It was a tie on the first one. It was probably pretty close to a tie on the second one. So it's all going to come down to user experience. How about that, user experience? Because obviously they both work. I have to say that I do feel a little bit of, I don't know if I'd call it pain or discomfort in my hands from the mechanical motion, the vibration coming from those jaws slapping up, transferring through the handle. Even though it is a good hickory, looks like a hickory handle, my hands, they hurt a little bit. I don't, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just soft, but I don't think that it would be wise, or a guy would really want to, if you were, say, one of those guys back in the 60s that split wood for a living, that if you'd want to swing this all day. You know, I don't know, I haven't done it, but I kind of feel like that could be a problem. Now, is that going to be an issue for the rest of us who, you know, maybe go out and split wood for 3 or 4 hours in the morning or until lunch? Probably not, but it could be. I don't remember, I've split a lot of wood, and I don't remember feeling that that pain in my hands, and I think that it's directly to that. I know when it went into the wood, I kind of jarred me. I was kind of, ooh, that's kind of uncomfortable. So I'd say that was a downside. There's no such thing as magic. Of course, we knew that, but I can pretty much say from my experience so far that it's not a toy. It is not a toy, and this is one specific type of wood. Will it work better with maple or with beech or with oak or hickory? You know, I don't know. That's up to you. Would I recommend it over something like the Bismarck? No, I don't think so. I don't dislike it at all, but that pain from the vibration is a big problem for me, even though I do like a lot about it. But you're going to have some added maintenance issues there, possibility of these things breaking. I just don't know. I just haven't seen an advantage that would overcome the kind of the hand pain factor over the old Bismarck right here. This is a good one right here. That's pretty hard to beat. A little easier to swing this one. This was a little bit lighter, but I think that's enough. I think you draw your own conclusion. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If you don't mind, take a moment, click the thumbs up. I'm working hard out here for you guys, so it's what you can do to, a way you can say thank you. It helps the channel out. And so another video I wanted to do that I thought maybe we'll do real quick while I'm out here is maybe test the Bismarck up against a wedge. After wedges, I've got two style of wedges. I got the Prandy twisting wedge versus the regular wedge, and I've always been curious to see, is there an advantage? Which one would be better? Which is going to be faster and more efficient? So if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments, and we can. I'm going in. It's going to be supper time here, but I'll come back out tomorrow and do it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.